The glow from my laptop screen cuts through the dimness of my Seattle apartment like a blade, casting sharp shadows across my face. Outside, the November fog presses against the windows, thick and indifferent. But my eyes stay locked on the banking dashboard. $11,900 transferred quietly over 3 years, mortgage payments, utility bills, the occasional credit card bailout for my parents. Automatic, invisible, like a vein feeding a tree that never noticed the roots. The microwave clock blinks 11:23 p.m. Most people have long since powered down. But sleep abandoned me somewhere between late-night funding pitches and boardroom battles that proved I belonged. My phone vibrates sharply against the coffee table, the screen lighting up with Dad's name. Unusual. He almost never calls directly. Mom usually acts as the buffer, softening edges and keeping his pride intact. I swipe to answer, keeping my tone even. Hey, Dad. Elena. His voice carries that familiar clipped edge, the one that always makes me feel like I've already fallen short. About Thanksgiving next week. Your mother, and I think it's best if you sit this one out. My fingers go still above the keyboard. What? Your sister's bringing her boyfriend. He's sharp, corporate ladder. Polished. Knows how to talk to people. Your work it's complicated to explain at the table. People ask questions, and it doesn't land right. Not traditional. Not like Brooke's marketing path. The words land like cold stones in my stomach. I picture my corner office at Vital Tech Solutions overlooking Elliott Bay. The 43 engineers reporting to me. The wearable cardiac monitors now deployed in 12 countries. Quietly saving lives during arrhythmias. Hard to explain. I repeat it back. The phrase tasting hollow. He clears his throat. Don't take it personally. This dinner matters for Brooke. We need smooth impressions. If you insist on coming, don't call me your father at the table. The apartment feels suddenly smaller, colder. I stare at the banking screen I've reopened without thinking. 3 years of propping up their suburban home after Dad's early retirement from the factory. 3 years covering Mom's real estate slumps. The childhood memories surface unbidden. Brooke's graduation blowout that filled the house for days. My MIT acceptance, mentioned only in passing over cold leftovers. Mom driving hours for Brooke's prom emergencies, but missing my regional robotics finals just 30 minutes away. Fine, I say, voice distant even to myself. The call ends. I don't remember who hung up first. Silence presses in. My hand moves almost on its own to the recurring payments section. Mortgage. Utilities. Monthly family support transfer. One by one. I cancel them. Confirmation screens flash softly. Recurring payment canceled successfully. The finality of each click settles into my chest like quiet thunder. Sometimes love means drawing the line. I whisper to the empty room. The phone rings again minutes later. I brace for Dad, or Mom realizing what I've done. But it's Aunt Valerie, my only family member who ever showed up for my milestones. Hey, kiddo, she says, her warm voice carrying a faint Oregon lilt. Just checking if you're burning the midnight oil again. I'm not great. Actually, the admission slips out. I tell her everything, the disinvitation, the years of silent support, the cancellations. Oh. Elena, she sighs when I finish. You've carried enough. There's supporting family. And then there's letting them bleed you dry while pretending you're invisible. You deserve better. Tears sting my eyes. But my breathing steadies. I think I've given enough. It's about time, she says softly. It's about time. After we hang up, notifications pop up. Mom's birthday reminder in 3 weeks. And an HR alert about new hire Marcus Hale, starting Monday. Mom's incoming call flashes next. I watch the screen until it stops. Then silence the phone. For the first time in years. I don't answer. 21 days of quiet stretch ahead like open road. I delete another voicemail from Mom without listening, the sixth today, and turn my attention to the sparkling waters of Elliott Bay beyond my office window. A knock interrupts. "Come in," I call. Straightening files. Marcus Hale enters, tall. Confident stride. Navy suit crisp. Handshake firm. Blue eyes steady. Brooks type exactly. Though I don't know it yet. "The Meridian contract is signed," he says, placing a folder down. "They accepted every term, including the exclusivity clause." I nod, scanning the pages. 3.2 billion over 5 years. Impressive for your second week. He lingers at the door. "The team's talking about how you held the line in negotiations. Meridian wasn't giving an inch until you stepped in." The simple praise lands warm and unexpected. Recognition without strings. After he leaves, Dad's call comes again. I silence it. 1,000 miles away in their suburban kitchen, Mom's voice shakes as she speaks to the utility company. "Disconnected? We've never missed payments." The representative's words hit like ice. "Automatic transfers canceled 3 weeks ago." Dad appears in the doorway. "Sierra, no. Elena," he corrects himself grimly. They scramble to the last credit card, eyes darting toward tomorrow's party. The next evening, while reviewing projections, Aunt Valerie texts, "Party underway." Lights flickering. Your mom's spiraling. I imagine the scene, guests arriving with gifts, Mom's perfect hostess smile, Brooke arranging flowers, Dad pouring drinks. Then darkness as the power company enforces the cutoff. Mom texts, "Please. Lights out. Water off. Everyone's here." I place the phone face down and return to my spreadsheets. 20 minutes later, a company-wide email announces Marcus to other departments. Curiosity pulls me to his personnel file. Previous role, Senior Account Executive at Harrington Media. Reference, Jason Willis. VP Marketing. The name clicks. Brooke mentioned Jason 6 months ago in a casual text about meeting someone perfect. Marcus isn't random. He's Brooke's boyfriend, the impressive corporate guy they didn't want me embarrassing. I close the file. His credentials stand on their own. My family's ignorance of the company I co-founded while cashing my checks isn't his burden. Aunt Valerie calls.
"Hold on," she says.
Video flickers on, parents' dining room lit by candles. Mom apologizing profusely. Dad rigid with humiliation. Brooke chatting animatedly off frame. The camera shifts to Marcus's face. "Is that Elena?" he asks, spotting the phone. The room stills. "Yes. My niece," Aunt Valerie says. Mischief in her voice. "Elena Vargas, co-founder and VP of Innovation at Vital Tech Solutions." Marcus's confusion turns to recognition. I report directly to her. Silence crashes like a wave. Brooke's horrified face fills the frame. Dad stammers. "Of course, we're tremendously proud of Elena's accomplishments." I end the call. For the first time in 21 days. I smile. The email arrives at 6:22 a.m. I've been up since 4, poring over quarterly reports instead of sleeping. Marcus's name in bold. Subject, last night. Curiosity overrides caution. "Elena, I owe you an apology for the awkwardness. I had no idea you were Brooke's sister when I accepted the role. She never mentioned your connection to Vital Tech. I've ended things with her this morning. Her behavior at the party toward you and others doesn't align with my values. This has nothing to do with you as my supervisor. I remain fully committed professionally and open to any adjustments needed." I read it twice, then reply measuredly. "Thank you for the clarity. Your personal life is yours. I hired you for your skills, which remain unchanged. We continue as professionals." Elena Vargas, VP Innovation, Vital Tech Solutions. Boundaries clear.
Send.
Brooke's texts flood in moments later. What did you say to Marcus?
He dumped me.
Fix this. You've always been jealous. 17 messages pile up while I shower and dress. They used to sting like needles. Now they slide off like rain. My single reply, he left because of how you treat people. Then I mute her notifications. The Carrington merger meeting fills the glass conference room, 40 pairs of eyes on me. Charts climb like mountains on the screen. I stand tall, voice steady, fielding questions with precision. Marcus sits quietly in back, nodding appreciatively without stealing focus. This room sees me as leader, not someone's daughter or sister. Afterward, my assistant hands me coffee. Board moved up the review. They love the numbers. Her genuine smile contrasts sharply with family fractures. We've got your back. Aunt Valerie meets me at an outdoor cafe near the office. Spring sun warming the table. The cousins are buzzing, she says. Buttering bread. Your parents have been spinning stories that you abandoned them after success. But after the party blackout, everyone saw the truth. Uncle Bill called your dad demanding why they never mentioned your role at Vital Tech.
My fork pauses.
The narrative I'd internalized for years begins to crack. They know about the payments now. Half the family's furious with them. Even quiet Rachel told your mom she should be ashamed. Aunt Valerie covers my hand. Blood doesn't mean blindness. Some of us have seen it for years. The doorbell rings at 8:47 p.m. Security camera shows my parents on the doorstep, small suitcases beside them. I consider ignoring them, preserving my sanctuary. But avoidance solves nothing. I open the door. Elena, Mom steps forward, arms open as if the past month vanished. We've missed you. Dad lingers behind, eyes downcast. I step aside wordlessly. They scan my Bayview apartment. Modern furniture. Discreet awards on shelves. You've done well, Mom murmurs, touching the counter. Dad clears his throat. We may have overreacted about Thanksgiving. Family belongs together. No real apology. Water. I ask neutrally. We sit awkwardly. Dad breaks the silence. With your position, maybe $2,800 monthly support? It's not much for you. The audacity steals my breath, no amends. Just renewed extraction. How much is Brooke contributing? Mom blinks. Brooke's struggling after the breakup. She needs time. I see. I set my glass down. Options. Brooke matches equally. Or we formalize a legal repayment agreement for past support. Your choice. Dad's face reddens, temple vein pulsing. You're setting conditions? After we raised you? Mom's eyes well. After all our sacrifices. I stand, calm amid their storm. The old fear dissolves into clarity. You should leave. Dad looms. You don't dictate terms to family. But I wait silently by the door until they gather suitcases and exit. The click is soft. Final. Afternoon sun floods the expanded conference room as I outline Vital Tech's European expansion. 52 employees, nearly double last quarter. Listen intently. Our monitors just received EU clearance. By next quarter, lives saved in 29 countries. Applause ripples. I breathe, confidence anchoring me against the window wall overlooking the bay.
Dr.
Patel raises a hand about pediatric timelines. Marcus's team has accelerated it. I nod toward him. Board approved his promotion to Director of Product Development yesterday. He offers a professional nod. Our family link stays unspoken, boundaries sacred. Back in my office, I swipe away 3 voicemails from Mom, pleas evolving from demands to bargaining to forced cheer. Dad's email last week cited misunderstandings. Brooke texts weekly for business advice, transparent bid for connections. Aunt Valerie FaceTimes. How's Seattle? Humid as ever in Charleston. Her drawl soothes. Thanksgiving plans? My friends in Mill Valley still have room. Actually, I'm hosting this year. Small, team members without nearby family. A few friends. 15 people max. Pride warms her voice. Look at you, your own terms. The Women's Healthcare Innovation Gala arrives on Black Friday. I arrive pleasantly full for my first self-hosted Thanksgiving. Laughter genuine. Appreciation real. Elena Vargas. For revolutionary advances in accessible cardiac monitoring, the presenter announces. I reach the podium, spotting mom and dad slipping into rear seats, dressed hopefully. I focus on the cool award in my hands. Innovation isn't solitary. I'm grateful to Aunt Valerie, who taught me support means celebrating someone's true self, not a projected image. No mention of my parents. Their applause rings hollow among real cheers. Later, Marcus finds me in a quiet corner. After Brooke and I split, she told me stories about your childhood, how they favored her. She meant to justify it, but it showed me you made the right call. Some families don't deserve endless chances. Validation from the unlikeliest source loosens a knot in my chest. Social media erupts that night with my award photo. Mom posts, so proud of our daughter. We always knew she'd change the world. Relatives pile on. Rewriting history. College friends counter with receipts, graduation photos without parents. Screenshots of my confided hurts. Stories of helping me move alone. I stay silent, watching truths collide. 3 days later, I post one photo, my chosen family around the Thanksgiving table. Faces lit with real affection. Caption: grateful for those who celebrate the journey, not just the destination. Spring sun glints off my windshield as I drive the winding suburban streets to my parents' neighborhood. Brick homes line manicured lawns, but neglect shows cracked concrete, peeling paint, dead sprinklers. 3 months behind on property taxes. Aunt Valerie warned. Dad's pried the last glue holding it. I knock. Dad opens. Face more lined. Silver threading his temples. Elena. Mom appears. Smile too bright. Hugging desperately. The living room feels shrunken. Furniture worn. Dust on the silent piano. Unopened bills stacked. They exchange glances. Mom perches beside me. We've missed you. It hasn't been the same. Dad mentions Mom's arthritis. Uncovered specialist bills. Brooke nods from the stairs. Polished despite decay. We're helping as much as we can. Is that why you invited me? Finance? I ask. Mom flutters. Since you brought it up, a little help until we recover. I open my laptop. First, history. The spreadsheet displays $152,340 total support over 4 years, mortgage, utilities, cards, medical. Texts and emails follow, dismissive jokes about my computer hobbies, Brooke undermining my reputation while seeking industry intros. Silence thickens. Mom's tears fall genuinely this time. We didn't know. That's the problem. You never bothered to know me. I close the laptop. For any future relationship, acknowledge the support. Achieve financial independence. Respect my career. No more extraction. Dad stands, booming. You don't dictate to family. Brooke storms out. You were always difficult. I pause at the door. Family is respect. When that's gone, so is the relationship. The soft click behind me carries more weight than any slam. Morning light streams through Vital Tech headquarters windows. I stand overlooking Elliott Bay. 16 framed awards, magazine covers, and our key patent on the vindication wall. Sarah appears. Mentorship group ready in Conference B. 41 scholarship applications this round. In the room, 12 young women rise. Eyes hungry with the need to prove themselves. Success means surviving those who say you don't belong, I tell them. 2 years into therapy,
Dr.
Levine leans forward. The dream again, Thanksgiving table. You invisible while they pass food to your sister. What does that girl need? Recognition, I whisper. For who I am, not achievements. Aunt Valerie FaceTimes later. Envelope from your mother arrived via me. No pressure. It sits unopened on my counter for days while I prepare Thanksgiving for 14 colleagues, running group friends, my therapist, Aunt Valerie flying in. One empty chair remains. Symbol of possibility, not expectation. I finally open it. 4 sentences in Mom's handwriting. I was wrong. You deserved better. This asks nothing. I just needed you to know. No manipulation. I fold it back carefully. On Thanksgiving morning, 15 chairs circle the table. After dinner, coffee flows in the living room. I retreat to my office. Logging into banking, 5 automated scholarships for young women from unsupportive homes. Mom texts, I'm proud of you. 2 years of silence broken by 5 words. The old urge to lash out or ignore fades. I reply, thank you. Later, alone, I trace the framed $1 revenue from VitalTech. Endless giving without gratitude isn't love, it's control. Weeks later, boundaries hold firm. Occasional polite texts from Mom acknowledge small milestones without demands. Dad remains distant. Pride a stubborn wall. But the house sale rumors suggest reality biting. Brooke's outreach has quieted, no more veiled requests. Only occasional neutral updates. In mentorship sessions, I watch the young women grow bolder. Their stories echoing mine. One shares how cutting financial ties freed her to pursue engineering without guilt. The parallel hits deeply. Aunt Valerie visits again. Over coffee. She reflects. You didn't burn bridges, you reinforced them with honesty. That's rarer than people admit. At work, Marcus thrives in his director role. Our professional rapport stays clean, the past a closed chapter. The company expands further. Monitors now in 34 countries. Board praise flows freely. But the deepest satisfaction comes from the team's genuine loyalty, the chosen family that sees me fully. One quiet evening, I sit with the mother's letter again. The words remain simple, imperfect, but real. Forgiveness isn't blanket absolution, it's measured space for growth. I place it in a drawer beside the framed dollar. Symbols of earned progress. Spring turns toward summer. Fog lifts from the bay more often, mirroring clearer horizons in my life. The question lingers in quiet moments, when family love twists into obligation and dismissal. Do we owe endless second chances? Or is protecting our peace the truest form of self-respect? Some bonds strengthen through distance. Others dissolve to make room for healthier ones. I've learned both paths carry weight. But choosing respect over resentment finally feels like freedom.